If a legal issue hit your business tomorrow, would you be ready? Would you know what to do, or even know your legal obligations and rights? If you hesitated for even a second when contemplating those questions, this content is for you.
Welcome to Legally Literate, the go-to channel for small business owners to develop their legal literacy and keep up to date with the latest legal developments and issues affecting the small business sector in Australia.
Hi, I'm Erica Taylor, founder and CEO of the Legal Literacy Foundation. I want to talk to you about something that could save your business thousands of dollars, years of stress, and maybe even your business itself. And that's legal literacy. Stick around, because I'm going to walk you through what legal literacy really means, how it can help you mitigate legal risks in your small business, and how you can get started with a free resource. Let's start with a reality check. According to a 2020 survey conducted by the Australian Small Business and Family Enterprise Ombudsman, the average cost of resolving a business dispute through formal legal channels back then was over $130,000, double what it was just a decade before. Fast forward to 2025, and those costs have blown out even further. You might not be surprised to learn that 1 in 3 small business legal disputes never get pursued because the cost of litigation outweighs the potential benefit. Even if you win on legal grounds, you're faced with the challenge of recovering what you're owed plus your legal costs. And if you lose, well, the consequences can be fatal for your business. So what does this mean for you? Put simply, it means that for many small business owners, the cost of justice is simply out of reach. But here's the thing. Most legal issues don't start with a nasty letter or the threat of litigation. They start with a decision made by you, a small business owner, a decision made without reference to sound legal knowledge. These are what I call sliding door moments where legal literacy could have changed everything. Let me give you 2 real-world examples that many Australian small business owners would be experiencing right at this very moment. The first is the handshake deal gone wrong. You start a project with a supplier, no contract, just a few emails and texts. 6 months later, there's a dispute over the scope, timing, or payment of the project. Now, it's your word against theirs. Fast forward to the worst, but not unlikely scenario, and you're in court, spending tens of thousands of dollars trying to prove what should have been in writing before any work was done on the project in the first place. Next is the branding nightmare. You build a brand around a name that you love. You register your business name, invest in logo design, packaging, and you build up a big following on social media. Sometime later, you get a cease and desist letter from a company at the big end of town alleging that you have infringed their trademark. Turns out, that company registered the name as a trademark well before you even started trading. You realise that registering your business name didn't give you any rights in the name itself. Now you're facing not only expensive legal action, but the costly exercise of rebranding. But what if I told you both of those issues could have been avoided with the help of legal literacy? Legal literacy isn't about becoming a lawyer or replacing legal advice. It's about understanding the framework in which your small business operates. Think of it like financial literacy. You don't need to be an accountant to manage your books or identify cash flow issues, but you do need to consult an accountant to assist you with your tax planning and exposure. The same goes for legal literacy. It empowers you to identify and manage potential legal risks and to ask the right questions when the situation calls for you to consult a lawyer. Legal literacy helps you to understand things like when a handshake deal might be okay and when a formal written contract is appropriate, and the difference between registering a business name and registering a trademark. Most small business owners don't have this foundational knowledge, and that's not because they're not smart, but because they're busy doing what they do best, and that's growing and scaling their businesses. Developing legal literacy can feel like a steep learning curve filled with complex language and abstract concepts. It can seem boring, and it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking it's not important, and that you can deal with legal issues later if they ever arise. But that's a dangerous mindset. Before we go further, I wanted to tell you about our free resource that can help you to get started on your legal literacy journey. Download our free ebook, Pathway to Legal Literacy, which steps you through the 4 steps of legal literacy and why it's important for small business owners. Click the link in the description box below to get your free copy, and if you're listening on the podcast, you can find the link in the show notes. Let's get back to why legal literacy matters. As a small business owner, it's inevitable that at some point in time you will receive a cease and desist letter or a letter of demand, be served with legal proceedings, or find yourself needing to commence legal proceedings. So let's talk about the true cost of legal disputes and litigation. It's not just about legal fees. The real cost of legal disputes and litigation come in forms most business owners never see coming. It's the time drain, the stress, the sleepless nights, the opportunities you miss while you're stuck in a legal battle. Most cases drag on for years and years, and that's a long time to divert your attention to issues that don't help you grow your business. Even if you go to court and win, you might still lose money, customers, opportunities, and peace of mind. Worse still, if you lose, you face paying the costs of the other party and having a judgment published by a court that is a matter of public record. This can be significantly detrimental to your business. At this stage, you might be throwing your hands up in the air and saying, okay, I get it. I have to hire a lawyer for everything. But that's not what I'm saying. And that's not financially viable or sustainable for most small businesses. With legal literacy, you can identify areas in your business that might need some attention. Legal literacy empowers you to work on minimizing the likelihood and impact of legal issues and legal disputes in and on your business. How? Through legal risk mitigation. In plain English, mitigation means identifying potential legal problems before they happen and taking steps to reduce the chance they'll occur, or at least soften the blow if they do. Legal risk mitigation is about shifting your response to legal issues and legal disputes from being reactive to proactive. Instead of firefighting legal issues, legal literacy allows you to put systems in place to mitigate your legal risks. What does that look like? Well, I'm glad you asked. When you are legally literate, you can identify legal risks and take the necessary steps to mitigate them. In the handshake deal scenario, this means knowing when to engage a lawyer to draft a formal written agreement. In the branding nightmare scenario, this means knowing that registering a business name is not sufficient to give you rights in the name itself, and understanding the importance of engaging a lawyer to conduct a trademark search before you invest your time and money in a brand. Legal risk mitigation is almost always cheaper and less stressful than litigation. You might be thinking, that's all good, but hey, no flies on me. But here's the truth. Legal risks are everywhere in business, especially small business. And they're often invisible until it's too late. That's why we've created a free legal risk management assessment tool. It covers the 5 key areas of legal risk for any small business. These are business operations and compliance, employment law, sales and marketing, work health and safety, and branding and social media. Our tool enables you to rate your confidence in those areas and get a personalised report showing where you're strong in managing your legal risks and where you might be exposed. It's not a test, it's a roadmap. Click the link in the description box below to complete your legal risk management assessment. And if you're listening on the podcast, you can find the link in the show notes. So here's the bottom line. Legal literacy isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. It empowers you to make informed decisions, be proactive in managing the legal risks arising in your small business, and potentially avoid costly legal disputes. If you want a deeper analysis on this topic and any other legal issues relevant to the day-to-day operations of your small business, we've got you covered. You can subscribe to our premium content platform for just $22 a month. That's less than a couple of cups of coffee a week. As a subscriber, you will receive expert commentary on legal issues impacting Australian small business owners. There's a link to subscribe in the description box and the show notes. Prefer to start for free? Join our mailing list via the link provided for updates on the latest legal news and issues affecting Australian small business owners. If you found this helpful, please share with a fellow small business owner. For more legal insights and commentary for small business owners in Australia, make sure to follow along for future episodes. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time.